used to live in Charleston, South Carolina, and then I used to live in Martha's Vineyard up in there.
What were you doing up there?
I was caddying.
Texas,
Caddying on the golf course,
like a
yeah.
higher end, like
That's my big one.
$300,000.
That's
Yeah,
like-
like,
Yeah, very cool. I do it out here.
you know what the average home is
You
here?
live out there?
It's just like, what?
I live on Front Street.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So the opportunities that.
Connor,
Am
you
I-
live on
uh,
Front
I
Street?
feel it. It's just like.
She knows,
yeah.
like, I arrived back on island Sunday,
Yeah.
signed like a little
It's
2-month
exciting.
lease.
It's
On
exciting.
Sunday, I had to put myself up in Kulani, so I'm the last house before the Kulani Country Club golf course there.
Okay.
And I'm gonna come out west as well, so I put myself out of there. I know everyone on this side island thinks west side is all another world, but.
You like being a hiker?
I like the west
I
side.
like it. It's
West
right,
side,
I like
west
the
side.
jungle, we have our garden, we have our
Yeah.
neighbors, so I like it.
Yeah, we've been talking
Yeah,
about moving.
my family
so
used
right
to
here, literally
have
top
a
of the
chocolate
street,
shop
it's
in the
like
cannery.
desert.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
You know, we have a
I used to
garden.
live in, I mean, I lived
It's
in
beautiful, but
China
it's a
most
little
of the
bit more
time.
difficult to grow
Yeah,
vegetables.
drove to school
because
up
they're not
country,
hot
so-
yet. It's like-
Yeah.
Well, I don't mind the drive.
Dry,
Water.
yeah.
Yeah.
Water bill goes up, yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
it's like,
cute though.
we're just in between.
Yeah. I lived in Kula when I first got here, Kula's like my deal. Don't start with Elks.
That's what we've been, that's what our
So
manifestation
you've been
is.
doing
Yeah.
Our goal is to be there.
Yeah.
How many yards do you have under your belt?
Get an actual spot, you know.
Well, so I've been gone for a
Yeah.
month, but in my 3 months, I've
Right
been
now
about
we're still like
500 and
that.
some.
My boyfriend, his name's Mario.
Chris is
We're staying with his uncle.
Okay.
And
That's awesome.
So
Oh, we
it's
should-
perfect, like,
well, so
an ideal situation.
I bought my
Right,
car
that
in,
evolution.
I arrived back on island June 15th.
Uh-huh.
So from June to call it, you know, end of
Yeah,
September,
it's-
right when I left,
Yeah.
11,000 miles.
So great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, but you know what, it was working really well. I had my first 375 trips, and then I finally got a 4-star, so I was furious. I was like, they said my air conditioning was too cold. It was crazy outside, so like, that was that's temperature based.
That's, I
What?
two really
Your
bad
car
rides
was too
there.
cold, that's the thing.
Yeah.
This was my Uber feedback, yes.
How come they didn't just tell you?
I'm sure they did, because the first thing, look, I am always hot, so the first thing I do is I always, is the AC okay with you?
Yeah.
So don't say it's okay and then give me the old bad review.
You're like, what? Communication is
Yeah,
essential.
just a list.
Just
Customers always.
It's one
wrong.
thing that you know that you cannot please everybody.
Yeah.
So that's
Ain't
one
that
thing
the
you
truth?
learn.
Ain't that the truth?
You cannot please everybody. So just
Some people are that
So I
way.
stopped trying a long time ago.
You
No,
drive X or XL?
I'm just excited a little HRV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
One of the most powerful experiences you will have in real estate is when you fire your first client.
fire first
Oh,
time. I cannot stand you.
Such relationship with
Oh, I'm
them.
looking forward to
Can
that.
you refer them to someone?
Yeah, of
Oh,
course.
that's awesome.
What if you feel
That's
bad
great.
about referring them to anybody? There's somebody young and hungry that's willing to deal with that kind of stuff. I just like, I had a couple that were screaming at each other throughout the whole thing, and they finally started screaming at me. And I was like, and I was so new and I was so desperate. I was just like, and finally I was like, I have to let them go. I didn't have a coach. If I had a coach at the time, it would have been awesome. And this is 20 years ago, and it was bad. And I finally fired them, and within a month, I had like 3 new clients already.
See, sometimes that's all you have to do.
I just had to get rid of it. It was like I had to clear the space to
Yeah,
let everybody else
let
in.
it in.
And I watched agents go through the exact same experience, and I'm like, I'll give you all the advice in the world. You probably won't take it. You're just
Yeah, you gotta know better.
You're gonna finally let them loose, and you're gonna be like, it was the greatest thing I ever did. And there's just this like moment of, oh my gosh, I have all my power back. That's really cool. Yeah, it's an interesting experience.
It's really true though. I mean,
Yeah.
How many deals a year do you think like fall?
How many deals fall apart? You know, it's very interesting because I don't get this whole deals falling apart thing. I have a very high close rate. I don't understand what people are doing. I mean, the financing should be in alignment. Everyone should, here's what's happening. A lot of people aren't doing buyer presentations, so the buyers don't know what they are and are not supposed to do. Sometimes the lender's not being communicated with, so people don't know that the loan is more iffy than good. There's also scenarios sometimes where there's a problem with the property, always wanna prepare your buyers or sellers. This is a real estate transaction. Things are gonna show up. We have to just understand that as long as we can hang in there, we can make it happen, right? I mean, I've dealt with, I had an escrow that extended to 10 days and then extended a couple more days, and it was just like, but they wanted it. I mean, you have to make sure though that you're fighting for what your client wants, right? My buyer wanted it. Like I said, it's up to you at this,
Yeah.
you know, you want it or don't. I mean, I had a deal in California where I told the guy to walk away. I was like, you should walk away. This is not a good deal. He bought it anyway, but he highly respected me because I was straight up with him.
Yeah.
He was like, when you told me that, my respect level for you went crazy. So I was like, this is stupid what they're doing. Gotta go, find something else. Stuck with it, bought it, beautiful place. That being said, I was honest.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't make sense, then, you know, don't hold the deal together just because you want it to close. It has to make sense for who you're representing, your
Yeah,
party.
it's not about you.
That being said, I don't know why so many deals fall apart. It's kind of amazing to me. It's like, what do we not have? What ducks did we not line up? What are we missing? And I think you have to look at that. If you have transactions falling apart, you're probably missing a pattern.
Yeah.
So nip that pattern in the bud. I get a lot of like, so we went and showed them property. They really like it. They're not writing an offer. First question, let's do a buyer broker appointment. Like, sit down with them before you took them out? Nope, never did. Because one of the questions you're gonna ask is, if we find the right property for you today, are you ready to write an offer? Right?
That's a great question, yeah.
People are afraid to ask the real questions sometimes. That's why I keep telling you, I've probably said it 3 times today. Your job is to ask questions and to listen to the answers. Because if you know the different scenarios that exist on this island, you can guide people in the right direction. All right.
So what was that sentence that you asked them if you're?
You ask people the right questions?
The sentence that you
If you
said.
find the right property today, are you willing to write an offer?
Yes. Are you ready to write an offer?
You're ready, all
Right.
right.
You just wanna know if they're ready, right? Are we just looking because you wanna know what's going on with the market? Or are you ready to make an offer?
So what if they just wanna know what's going on with the market? Is that a legitimate reason to take them out looking at houses?
Usually you get into that scenario with the vacation rental people, and here's what I'll tell you. I told you, I sat in 98 open houses, majority of those were vacation rental properties, okay? So what I found out was, people walk through the door, they're ready to buy, they already have an agent. The agent that took them out 2 years ago to show them properties, so they know what was going on the island, what properties they like. So if I don't put them in my car, even though they're not gonna be ready for 2 years, someone else is gonna do it. So you're gonna hear from mainland people, don't be tour guide Barbie, right? Or tour guide Ken. But the reality is, if I don't show them, someone else will, and then when they come back and buy in 2 years, they're not buying from me, they're buying from somebody else.
So it,
Now,
so it kind of commits them to you because you've serviced them.
right, but I wanna sit down, I still wanna sit them down for a buyer broker and explain the scenario and explain, because that's building value, right? That shows them my value, what I offer for them. Sometimes I'll have them sign a buyer broker agreement.
At an open house?
No, usually
When you sit down.
after the presentation. Yeah, and I will do it at the end of an open house. I never do a presentation during an open house. My commitment is to sit there until the time I said I was gonna sit there too. Now, if it's a vacation rental and it's vacant, I'll say, come back at 5 and we can go through this presentation. I always have it with me.
Yeah.
And then I'll have them sign a buyer broker agreement. I have buyer broker agreements that expired 2 years ago. Doesn't matter, they signed on the dotted line, which in their brain committed them to me, therefore I'm their agent, right? So even though you don't wanna make a buyer broker agreement for 2 years, but reality is, I just say, this is how you hire me. I said, and if we go back past the time frame, no worries, we're just working together. And it's the way you know I'm working for you. Yes.
So I'm in a situation where I had leads. I sent them over to my old broker when I moved into timeshare,
Okay.
referred them to her. And now I'm at a point where my new broker is telling me that all those leads now belong to her. And so I can't reach out to any of my old leads. And so what am I supposed to do when they reach out to me?
Talk to me after,
Okay,
and we'll talk about that a little bit, or you can even talk to Keone about that, because he's your coach, right?
yeah.
So, get some guidance on that. Okay, moving on. I'm easy to sidetrack. All right, skill number 2, commitment to daily lead generation. I could literally talk about real estate all day long.
Yes.
All right, journey to your monetary goals. So this is what you gotta know. If real estate was a factory, right? If you ran that factory, you would know how long it takes to make a widget, would you not? Wouldn't that be really important and valuable information? Because otherwise you'd be making widgets and making no money, right? You gotta know what your cost is and knowing how long it takes. So, step 1's 2 hours, step 2's 2 hours, step 3's 2 hours, and step 4's 2 hours, that's 8 hours to make your widget. You would also know that if you didn't do step 1 at the end of the day, what happens? You ain't got no widgets, right? So, real estate is no different. Time number 1 is devoted to what?
Lead generate.
Yes, lead generation. Time number 2 is devoted to what?
Appointments.
Yes. Time number 3.
Agreements.
Time number 4.
Contracts.
And time number 5. Close. 90 days. So for every day you don't lead generate, 90 days later you can expect no money. And you don't want this to happen. It's tough when you wait 90 days to figure out you fall off the wagon. That's a long time. Get back on. Get going. All right. So, how long on average does it take to get a buyer or seller to sign a contract for a sale or listing? What do you guys think?
2 months.
Yes.
Buyer or seller side contract.
How long, so it's page 28, how long on average does it take to get a buyer or seller to sign a contract for a sale or listing?
60 days.
60 days? 2 months, so,
I say 30.
I was
Say
gonna say
30 days.
yeah.
yeah. It
Is Maui
depends.
specific, by the way?
No, I mean, I'm asking you guys kind of Maui specific. It's very interesting because you're gonna get into situations where you'll connect with a seller and you're working with them for 6 months before they're really ready to go on the market. You're gonna have other people that are gonna call you and they're ready to list it that day, right? So you just have to be open to whatever the scenario is and know that you have to nurture some people. We have a larger, Maui's not quite as much as a factory, right? Because on the mainland, you got properties that are $200,000. You gotta do a lot of those properties to build a really successful business, right? Maui, sometimes there's a little more nurture involved because, especially if you're talking about those $1 million, $5 million properties and things like that. So you're always nurturing your clients no matter what's happening. How long does it take for a transaction to close and for you to get paid?
48 hours total. Like 48 total work
close.
hours, that's what I was
Oh,
told.
hours? Good to know.
I like that.
48
that
total
idea.
work
That's
hours?
great.
Okay,
Make it happen.
so I'm gonna make an estimate that 48 total work hours do not have a transaction coordinator involved.
Because they would make it quicker,
Yeah.
They would take
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of those hours away from
Oh,
you.
yeah.
even shorter, okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would think so, because if you're really working a deal and you have a transaction coordinator that's doing all your files and all that kind of stuff,
That sounds lovely.
that's, oh, yeah.
And we have that,
Do
right?
we have that?
We have, there are transaction coordinators, yes, all over. There's lots of different transaction coordinators. So how long does it take for a transaction to close and for you to get paid? So the shortest I've seen is 15 days. Longest I've seen is, oh my gosh. So, yeah, so one of my coaching clients has someone in escrow on a new build. So they're buying probably, I think summer next year.
Oh,
So they're in
wow.
escrow, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
Just gotta
just
wait.
depends. Just gotta see,
Is
right?
that all cash?
That's
deals?
still
That
cool,
group
though.
cash?
Yeah, 15 days. You're not gonna close a loan in 15 days. You're gonna probably be at least 45 on a loan, if not closer to 60, just depending on your lender.
If being in Maui, how often do you come across cash buyers?
A lot,
Wow.
Okay, cool.
especially if you're working with vacation rentals.
Yeah, because they're
Investment.
coming prepared.
Yeah.
If you're trying to live in Maui, you're coming prepared.
Yeah, well, and there are also some that's buying second properties, or, it depends on who you work with. If you work more with the local population, you're probably looking at more loans. So, and I work with both, so I'm kind of.
Yeah, I wanna do both.
How quickly do you wanna get paid, or how long can you go without a payday? So I want you guys to think about that, because this business is a lagging business, right? So, in a week, no one's handing you a paycheck. Thanks for your week. Thanks for showing up and doing what you were supposed to do. It takes a longer time to get that paycheck and get going. Thankfully, our paychecks are very nice. when we get them.
Yeah.
Right? Very nice. All right. What will it take for you to get paid so you can begin to fund your big why? So what do you got to do?
Lead generate.
I love it that somebody was listening to the word I've already said 25 times today, right?
Focus on that.
Right. What else do you have to do?
Follow up.
Follow up for sure. Do you maybe have to tell people that you're in real estate?
Yep. You
Yep.
have to let
Get in
everyone know.
uncomfortable situations.
Yeah, you gotta get in some uncomfortable situations and make them comfortable. Build your database of contacts, commit to go on a lot of appointments, and practice scripts to get better. So it doesn't take you 80 conversations to get an appointment. You can cut that down by practicing your scripts, what to say, right? All right, so lead generation is a funnel. Is this a funnel? Let's see if I get a funnel. No, that doesn't have a funnel. Okay, so lead generation is a funnel. So it starts with leads, then appointments, then agreements, then contracts, then close. That's what we were talking about, Jace, when I said each one has a percentage to get into the funnel, because we want to get to the funnel. So we are in the leads funnel right now, part of the funnel. All right, so calling every session. Part of Ignite is you guys are going to be getting on the phone, making phone calls. Say, I am so excited to make phone calls.
I am
I'm
so
so
excited.
excited.
Phone calls.
Even if you're lying, I just love that you're willing to say it. Thank you so much for that. All right, so remember, calling for leads is the single most important step in building your business. Truly, truly, truly. 100%. Single most important step, building your business. Because if you don't follow up and you don't have communication with people, you will not have a business. So the simple formula. Why can some agents make 100 calls a day and others fear the phone? Because successful agents follow a simple formula. Number one, they leverage powerful scripts. Number two, they build the relationship. Number three, they ask for the business. Number four, they ask for referrals. And number five, they come from contribution. So it comes back to your mindset, one of helping people and being positive, focus on your goals, avoid attachment to the outcome, and you will succeed. All right, 4 powerful habits. The quality is in the quantity. Did you guys hear that? Do you know what that means?
Quantity is
It's a numbers game.
It is absolutely a numbers game. And if you don't think it is, that's okay. Because I know it is, and I'll just go do it. Don't worry, it's okay. But I am telling you, the quality is in the quantity. That being said, you do want to be quality. You just want to do it at a high level. That's all. All right, so 4 habits. How many of you are familiar with the Daily 10-4? Yes. Araba, will you tell them what the Daily 10-4 is?
Okay, the Daily 10-4. No, I can't explain it. I don't remember.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
it's 4 habits,
I remember, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you do 3 of them daily.
Yes.
One of them you don't want to do daily, or you'll just do that habit all the time, which is to know your market. So that's preview 10 homes.
Right.
That's going to be weekly, because that would be really tough to do every day.
And that means actually going in, seeing the homes.
Yes.
Okay.
So attending caravans is a great way to do that. Because when you
Yeah.
attend caravan, yep, I would suggest that you pick a caravan, an area, and you attend those. Now I know we're going to be interfering with some caravans. More important than you come to Ignite, because you're going to start learning that market the minute you go. But you can also go to open houses. Right? Go check out the open houses. What's going on? Take a look at the properties. Check them out. See what's going on. All right. So, number 1, grow and manage your database. You're going to add 10 new contacts into your database every day. So that would be in your command. Prospect. You're going to speak with 10 people in your database every day. Follow up. You're going to write 10 notes to people you know or have recently connected with every day. And then the knowing your market is the previewing 10 homes. There is a website called daily104.com where you can actually track this. If you like tech and you like to track techie-wise, that's a good way you can track it. Or you can just take a little notepad and keep it with you and keep that tracking. Because you want to know how many dials you made, how many people you spoke to, and how many appointments you had. Because in a year from now, we want to know your conversion rates. If you have no stats, I don't know your conversion rates.
So what's the app?
It's a website, daily104.com. Yep. And if you're on the MyKW, you can get on the daily104.com. I say it's my favorite radio station.
So you're like reporting how many people you contacted.
Yes.
You're reporting everything.
It's the 4 things. Yep. You can do it every day. Now, here's what I want to let you know. So it says speak with 10 people in your database. We will refer to that as calling, okay? You can do it in person. I don't have a problem with that. In fact, it's awesome. It's just not as leverageable as picking up the telephone. Does that make sense? But that counts. So if you are doing something outside in the world and interacting with people regarding real estate, they count. Does that make sense? All right. As long as you're not being a secret agent. Right. We all know what a secret agent is?
An agent undercover.
Who never tells anybody they're an agent.
So does it count, I mean, really, I'm kind of like thinking to myself, it really only counts if we get their name and information and input them into our database.
Correct.
So that officially they're a contact, otherwise
Correct.
it's a lost opportunity.
Yes. If you are Ubering and you don't get their information, then it doesn't count.
Right.
Correct. If you text them your app and acquire their phone number,
Right.
counts. Absolutely. And your goal is 10, 10, and 10. Right? So you want to talk to 10, so you want to, add 10 new contacts, talk to 10 people in your database, and then the last thing you want to do is follow up, which is write 10 notes to people you know or have recently connected with. And you want to do this every day. Now, who's familiar with Brian Buffini? You guys ever heard of Brian Buffini? Okay, so, I don't even know what Brian Buffini's for. He has his own plane. So Brian Buffini he lives somewhere in the San Diego area, and he's a huge real estate coach, like he's so huge he owns his own plane, right? His main thing is like note cards. Like that is their thing, that is their ticket, and it bought him a plane. So don't sit here and tell me you can't write note cards.
Yeah.
You can write note cards. People will appreciate it, they will love that they received it, it will warm their heart. And what's the first thing you open when you open the mail? Personal cards.
Yeah, it's like, oh, someone thought of it.
Someone thought of you, right? Like, that's a big deal. So don't forget that. Riley, did you have a question?
I was just gonna say that my handwriting is atrocious and it always will be and it never will change. So,
Can you read it? Can you read the words?
can you
Can you print?
I can read it.
Can you
Can
print?
other people read it? No.
Can you print?
No. So I am gonna have to use an app or a service to handwrite my notes.
You can do that.
Yeah.
You can absolutely do that. It's a step below, but it's a possibility.
But there are services out there.
There
that will
absolutely are, yeah.
really handwrite it for you.
Send
You
out
just
cards
don't-
and stuff, they print, write it. I don't think they handwrite it unless you hire an assistant.
No, there's handwriters.
See,
Really?
something to sell to
That I
realtors.
have not seen.
I'll do it.
There we go.
$50 an hour. I'll write whatever you want.
If you can find that, yes, if you can find somebody that will actually handwrite it for you, that's.
I mean, it'll cost a couple bucks per thing, but it's
Right.
worth it so that they can actually read it.
It's more personalized.
Totally.
Right, and it makes you look better because you're not sending something that looks like a 3-year-old.
You've got to work around, I like it, I give you permission. All right, so daily, so every day, this says at least 6 days a week to begin. That's up to you, whether you want to work a 6-day work week. So 10 of each, all 4 activities. We're clear on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
The 10 new contacts can be the same 10 people that you talk to.
Yes, as long as they're newly added to your,
Yeah.
to your database.
That's-
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely. They can all be the same.
Right.
So I meet 10 people, I add them all to my database, and I write them all a card.
Perfect.
Done.
And you can do more than 10.
Yes. Overachieving is completely acceptable. All right, so grow and manage your database, so add the 10 people, prospect, connect with 10 people, follow up, write 10 notes, know your market.
So the notes is snail mail, we're not talking texting,
Snail mail.
email.
We are not talking texting.
Cool.
Doesn't
That's
count.
cool. I like
Texting does not count. Now, if you text someone or you Facebook message them and there is an interaction regarding, there is some conversation regarding real estate, you may count them as your touch. Okay? So where it says you need to talk to 10 people, speak with 10 people in your database, like, good luck talking to my 25-year-old. Like, you text him, he'll text you back. You can have an actual conversation as long as you actually talk about real estate. If there's no conversation about real estate, it doesn't count as a touch point.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes.
All right, that's the best I'll give you on that. All right, so the tracker is the 104, page 34 shows you what it looks like. All right, skill number 3, use influencing sales language. So this is when you are showing someone a property. So did you find everything you were looking for? Go ahead, look around, and please let me know if I can help. I see you admiring that large screen TV. Are you looking to have one in your home for the big game this weekend? So these are well-known and commonly used phrases in sales and service industries. Since you're now in the sales industry, your success is dependent on your use of real estate sales language. So since we're first in the business of lead generation, you all got that part, right?
Yes.
You got the memo on the lead generation?
Mm-hmm.
What are we really saying about our job? So, here's filling in the blanks. Talking to people about their real estate needs and the needs of people they know. Okay? So, what you have to decide if you're E or you P. You want to be entrepreneurial or you want to be purposeful? What is our goal in the 6 personal perspectives?
What was the last one? Sorry.
Oh, people they know. So do we want to be entrepreneurial or do we want to be purposeful?
Purposeful.
Yeah, we want to move from E to P. So, entrepreneurial people are just going to chat up whoever happens to cross the path. And if real estate comes up, great. And if it doesn't, oh well. I'm sure to get a deal one of these days. Awesome. You can do your transactions here, and that can be how you set your business up. But I don't think any of you had your 4 to 5 on that number that we just did. Yeah? Everybody had bigger numbers.
Yeah.
Okay, so we gotta be purposeful. Know exactly who you wanna talk to, block time to communicate with them, and be prepared to have great conversations that lead to you providing value in exchange for them helping you grow your business. All right, scripts are cool. Purpose of scripts. All right, so what is the purpose of scripts? Does anybody know?
To kind of get in the flow of the lingo, like the how to break it down, get to business, but also be casual.
I like
Help
that.
you close deals.
Okay, help you close deals.
Build confidence.
Just to have like a systematic approach, so you can change it up as you need to, depending on their personality type, but like at least to have a structured,
Right.
Structure.
I like that.
message.
What'd you say? Al?
Build confidence.
Confidence builder. Absolutely.
Get the desired response.
To get a desired response. Yep, it can be that.
I was just gonna say that like the whole point of the script is to give us the information that we need to have a conversation to get us the result that we want, and
Right.
like all good actors, this is a script that like we need to practice it until the point that it sounds natural rather than rehearsed.
100%.
Yes.
Yes. Very natural, right? Needs to be natural. So, a great script is 100% customer oriented and benefits the customer throughout the entire conversation. So one of the reasons I love scripts is they make it so you don't forget key points.
Don't forget key point.
Think about a presentation. If you wanted to go and do a listing presentation, you literally had no presentation. Would you forget things?
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Oh, absolutely.
Same thing with scripts. You don't have a script, you're gonna forget things. And it could be important things, right? So when we did Essentials, we talked about the LP Mama. Some of you were here, some of you weren't. Another script that's really good is Ford, okay? This is not a scripted every word, this is a general conversation. So Ford stands for Family, Occupation, Recreation, and Dreams. So when you're calling your people that you know, right? You can do just a Ford sandwich, or you can break it up however you want. How's the family, right? So what's the most important part of a sandwich?
The meat.
The meat.
So subjective.
The cheese.
I personally like the lettuce.
I like the
you
bacon,
know?
yeah.
Nice mushroom. No, the meat. So what is the meat in a Ford sandwich?
Script.
What do you want to talk about?
Family,
What do you want people to be talking about with you?
Real estate.
Yes, real estate is the meat. So in a Ford sandwich, say you're picking an F and you're talking about family. And then maybe you're discussing something about real estate, but you learn to bring it naturally into the conversation, right? Then you're talking about, where are you guys going on recreation? Where are you guys going on vacation for the year,
Yeah.
right? So you wrap it up with a question about them. So you're not just literally do not do this. Ring, 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 hello? Hey, what's going on? Just wanted to check in. You know anybody looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? No? Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
And that was my script.
Please don't ever do that. Like, don't ever do that, okay? have more intention in your calls, right? And if somebody you know, like, it's so funny to me when somebody comes into real estate and they're like, I don't really want to bug the people I know. And I'm like, well, let me ask you this. How often do you normally call the people you know? Like the people you really know and that you like. These are people, well, I hope you like. I don't know, you may have some weirdo friends, but generally you like your friends, right?
Yeah.
And you'll call them up and be like, I haven't talked to this person in 2 years. Right? And then it's like, so am I gonna call this person? Yeah, because you know what I said? My script was like, so I'm in real estate. Awesome part is you're not gonna talk every quarter now, because I have to call you as part of my job. I'm gonna be like the best friend ever. You're gonna love it, because it's not gonna be 2 years between when I call you next. And people are like, that's cool, right?
Yeah.
Some people use the term, so I'm gonna put my real estate hat on today. You know, I have this great property I found. I'm looking for an investor that's in this price range. Who do you know that I need to talk to? Right?
Cool, yeah.
So you're calling with a purpose and an intention. It's not, if I called every quarter and I was like, who do you know looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate?
That's boring.
Who do you know who's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Well, here's the thing, they wouldn't even notice because it was only once a quarter and their lives are like so on other stuff. That being said, over a few years, yeah, it's really boring. So I need to have an intention behind what I'm calling for, right? Like I love to find a good investment property or a great vacation rental or something that I can be like, hey, so I found this property. Who do you know that would be interested in a property like that? You know what they say a lot?
I would.
Me. I would be interested in something like that. Well, yeah, I don't know, I'm just asking. You know, right? Who do you know? I've got an investor property coming up on the market. I want to sell it before it actually lists. Who do you know that I should connect with?
Who do you know?
So for the people in the room who have the majority of their contacts out of state, who do you know, like, what's the script for that?
So I work more the referral angle from that side. So I have an agent in the town that I used to live in that I connect everybody with. So I'll still touch base with them. You know, the funny part is that most people I talk to, no other realtor's touching base with them, ever. Like, ever. And so when they're ready to buy or sell, they call me.
Yeah.
I work with Keller Williams. Like, we have like countries open. Like, I got you covered. You worldwide, dude. We have no offices on the moon yet, but we're getting there. Right? So this is my point, is like, you gotta know these things. Okay. And my favorite ending to a conversation is always, especially when I say, who do you know is looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, and then I shut my mouth, and they say, you know, I can't really think of anything. I say, awesome, thank you for thinking about that. What can I do for you, business-wise or personally? How can I help you? People are shocked when you ask that question, because nobody asks.
They don't know how to answer it, yeah.
They're just like, oh, wow,